Do you have like a specific process?
In the early days, when I first started, I was always doing the sample first. So I would listen to a record and I would find the sample. I'd get it going or looped up kind of simply, and then I would approach it like a drummer. All right. I would maybe, sometimes I used to beatbox it. After a while, I felt like it was getting kind of boring, as a producer. Okay. Not the end result was cool, but
just for the process.
Yeah, it became too predictable. And I remember I would go see Premier, and sometimes he'd be making a beat, and he would always have like a drum sound. Maybe the kicks weren't even in it, but it was like some structure of a drum and a tempo. And so over the years, I started doing that. We're like, let me get a drum going or like a pattern or some tempo. So that way I have like a starting point. And then as I'm mixing in records, it becomes more unpredictable, if it makes sense. You know, because I don't really work with the computer programs where you could like make everything on time and in key. But I kind of like the limitation of playing records and having a beat. And I'm playing this record, it's a whole different timing and key. I'm playing the drum, I'm just sitting back now listening. Boom, that was the moment, spin it back, okay. A lot of the records I sample, the moment might just happen for 5 seconds, right? And the whole song could be not even an enjoyable song.
Yep.
It just might be a 2-bar moment or an intro or an outro.
Is Dave Porter the shit that has like the LL beat and the, you know, it's like...
The Masquerade is over.
Yes, the Masquerade is over.
Porter.
There's like 8 different samples in it, but they're all totally different and they all jumped out to different producers at different times over like 10 years.
Incredible to even make a piece of music like that. Just have people all interpreting it differently is like, yeah, that's the beauty of sampling. Yeah, what I'll do, I'll just make all the sounds work. Once I get the beat going, then I'll just, whatever's here, I'll make it all work. Just, you know what I mean? One of those salads that you make out of all the fucking leftover pieces. Whatever's in the refrigerator, put it in the mystery salad. That's the part.
All of those noises samples?
Pretty much stuff I made or found, or, you know, stuff from a garbage can that you know, secondhand. Dust it off, give it a new shellac, put it in soup, and you get a new mixture. But it's like all different textures, so when you blend them all, it shouldn't be easily dissectable with your ear, where it's like, oh, that's over there, that's over there. That's the thing about the MP. It doesn't blend shit as well as the ASR used to. Because the main outputs of the ASR kind of already had this type of coloring and sound that gave it some limitations in a sound. Where this is really raw, it's just like, there's your sample, there's your drums, there's your sounds. So you gotta be crafty with how you EQ and compress and mix beats with the MP in order to make it sound like a real soup, where you're not looking at the soup and seeing every ingredient. So yeah, that's always the trick for me with this, to blend them all where your ear is. But the more things you've got going on, the harder it is for your ear to really dissect it on first listen. Even some of my favorite beats before, I never realized how intricate they were because I was a fan of the song. I remember hearing some Exile beats from the Blue and Exile album later, like, damn, that's crazy. Like his detail and how he programmed the shit, and it was real, it was amazing. But it was like some of it I didn't hear till I heard the instrumental later, so I get it, you know? Those are the details you gotta do to make something have character and be unique.
How do you know when a beat is done?
My friend, who was a painter, like a really incredible artist, I asked him the same question. I was watching him paint one day. I'm like, how do you know when the painting's done? He's like, I get emotional. And it took me a minute to understand it, and then I kind of thought about it in relation to what I do. I don't get emotional, but I know what he meant, like as far as like, it's like the end of a relationship. It's like, fuck. Because you love what you're doing, like this is it. This is the last, I'm not adding anything else, it's done.